trust, unwavering, and confidence. The blessing in this card says that your faith returns and you feel a true connection and comfort in your choices and plans. They are supported by the energy of the universe. And then working with this card says that if you've lost faith in a person, project, or humanity itself, it is time to examine the source of the faith. Know that it can be revived, and this time you may choose where you place this most beautiful and tender of faiths. And then on top of that, you pulled Soulmate from Chakra Wisdom. Now, this is different from any other soulmate card that I've ever seen. This doesn't speak about you actually finding a soulmate. This is about the inner conversation that you have with yourself. The very first quote on the page is, "It is time to face my true feelings." The inspiration here says, to enjoy the beauty of a rose, we must risk being pricked by our inner thorns. This offers a new way to live. The best incentive to change is love. And then the key ideas here are speaking your truth, choosing love, freedom through transformation, an unexpected outcome in new truths. And the question here is, what truth am I embracing? And when you look at that with faith, you're re-examining your faith, your inner faith. What is it that you have faith in? And on top of that, you're changing that inner conversation that you have with yourself. And there's this feeling of speaking your truth. All right, Cap, here we go. Here is the energy coming through. Very nice. Very, very nice. The Three of Cups is about celebration. But more importantly, to me, when I see this card, I think of support. Like having a support system around you right now. But still, there's this feeling of celebration going on. And with all the transformation that you're going through on such a deep level, I would be celebrating it too. Finding that faith, having that restored to you, and having that inner conversation change with yourself right now. And in the past, wow, the High Priest. So, the Hierophant, immediately when I see that, I think of a higher education, knowledge, a better understanding of your situation, doing things in the traditional way. But again, when you look at faith in the High Priest, it also speaks about orthodox beliefs. So, it's possible here that, your faith is starting to change. Not just in yourself, but what you're believing right now. And what I feel like with Soulmate is what your belief is behind who you are. And who you are at a very deep level. And in the present, the sun, look at that. The sun underneath the High Priest is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Wow, you guys in the powerful readings here, to see the sun with what you pulled and the oracles and the High Priest on top is saying that you have protection. Your faith is bringing protection to you. And you're celebrating it, and there's this feeling of support, and it may be support from a higher source. That's perfect. The sun, seeing that right now means that you're going to be just fine. Nothing bad can happen to you. Not with the sun sitting there. No way. The sun is all about feeling rejuvenated. Having that energy of the sun. And feeling protected. So wow, Cap. Your faith is changing and it's bringing some really strong protection to you. Man. And you're changing that inner conversation with yourself. Oh, wow, the sun and the moon. Oh, shit. Oh. So, and it would make sense with faith and the High Priest that, here is what I feel like looking at this. When it comes to, having faith in certain beliefs, you cannot block out your intuition. Because, that's a part of the divine source. That's the gift that we all have, that connection to the source, the creative source, the light, God, whatever you want to call it. We are all connected to it. And we all have this intuitive nature. But I feel like seeing the moon here, it's like there's confusion and it's blocking your intuition. when you get into faith and looking at orthodox beliefs and things like that, you have to be open to feeling that power of the divine source. And that comes through in your intuition and that connection with the source. You know, when I see the moon, I automatically think about, like, kind of going off into illusions, you know, and then seeing. And then the other part of this too is that this could suggest that maybe the beliefs that you're looking at now aren't exactly that traditional. Maybe they're a little different. Maybe they're on a little bit of a darker side, or what maybe some people would think as darker. But, truly it's like you're opening up to all different aspects. Like, I just feel like looking at the moon that this could be something like even practicing Wicca, or, even like maybe looking at Buddhism, or, something that's not exactly what most people would consider traditional. Because when you look at the high priest, it's the Pope. It looks like the Pope, you know. This is really deep, Cap. This is really deep. But I feel like with the sun in between there, it's like you're looking at both. It's almost like you're willing to consider all faiths right now, and then soulmate. And I just have to say this because look at the third eye opening, you know? It's like finding the truth in everything that's around you and not limiting yourself to just one thing. But, be careful here though, too. I feel like it just needs to be said with these two alone that you need to be careful about blocking that intuitive connection to the source, because you don't want to shut yourself out completely from that. But regardless, the sun's like, you're just fine. Go ahead, explore both. Wow, wow, this is deep. Okay. The best path to follow. Looking at the two. So, this is what I feel like looking at it. The Six of Cups is about nostalgia, it's about childhood memories. The sun specifically says having that childlike view of the world. Children are open to everything until the adults condition them to, what their beliefs are. That's what we put onto our children, but some parents are open to everything. And I feel like that's what's going on here. Looking at the Six of Cups, when you talk about nostalgia and having that childlike view of the world, there's this openness. There's this feeling of anything is possible. Anything can be true. Everything has truth to it. Wow, this is deep, Cap. This is really deep. I'm loving this. Now, when I see the Six of Cups as well, to me, it's about restoring harmony back into your life as well. You can't stay stuck in past memories, but again, with the sun, it's like getting back to that feeling of childhood. I mean, I love that feeling, that feeling of being young and seeing the magic in physical reality, but still being in tune with the intuitive nature and that connection to the source. Man, this is deep. Okay. Oh, shit. Wow, Cap. Wow, yeah, I need to have some wine. This is like unreal. And you're celebrating this. You're like in the middle going, yeah, man, I'm learning all kinds of new stuff here. And again, death and soulmate, you're changing yourself. Oh, shit. Death in your environment. Again, it's about, it's transformation. It is transformation, and it's on a very deep, deep level. The changes that you guys have been going through, this is probably one of the deepest readings that you guys have had. Wow, wow, the changes here. And again, it's, freedom through transformation. Freedom through transformation. I mean, the third, I love it. It's so deep. It's so deep. This being in your environment is good because it's saying that you're willing to, you're not blocking yourself from learning as much as you can about all different faiths and beliefs, is what I feel like. And when you come out of this, the knowledge you're going to have, oh man, oh man. I love it, Cap. Man, this is so deep. Okay. Your hopes and your fears. Now, and to me, this makes sense. It makes sense. You're going to have to leave some limiting thoughts behind here when it comes to this really deep transformation and being open to the possibilities of all faiths, all beliefs, all the traditions, right? Because there's truth in everything. Even if it is just on an individual basis, there is truth behind everything, especially for the individual. So, there may be some beliefs that you may have to leave behind here, is what I feel like. I don't feel like you're losing anything here. It's just needing to walk away and protect the faiths that are important to you. I feel like looking at this, it's like a reminder that, there isn't just one set way of doing things. You can take multiple different things from everything and take it into your being and create your own opinion and your own beliefs and your own faith. But, I see that more as a fear that, what you're learning now is going to change you. And, when you look at soulmate again, new truths happening, right? Don't suppress what you're learning here. I don't know, I just have this feeling here that you're going to learn something, you're going to really like it, but then, there's this feeling like you feel like you have to be quiet about it almost, because there's that sneakiness with the Seven of Swords too. Don't do that to yourself. And if you have to leave something behind because it's just not suiting you, that's okay. There's things that I love about Catholicism, and there's things that I don't agree with. And it's the same thing with, the Wiccan tradition. There's things that I love, and there's things that I don't agree with. You just take from all them sources, all those different beliefs, and you create your own opinion. My cousin calls it being a solitary witch. And I love that description because it's a little bit of everything. It's not just one specific thing, And again, we will always find facts to support our own beliefs. And that's for everybody, the naysayers and the believers. But with that Seven of Swords, don't be afraid to have to leave behind things that maybe just don't suit you. It almost feels like you shouldn't get disappointed about, getting into something and then seeing a part of it that just doesn't resonate with you. Take in all the different things that fill your soul and make you feel good. Because, again, no matter what you believe, if it makes you happy, no one can ever stand in judgment of that, ever. Wow, Cap, this one's so deep. Oh, and the outcome. I love it. You're putting it to work in your life. The Two of Wands, for me, goes back to the Magician. Now, the Magician is connected with the Aces, but the reason why I say that is because everything that we manifest in our lives starts with a thought. But we can sit and think about stuff all we want, but if we don't take action, those things may never manifest. And that's where the Two of Wands starts to come into play. You're putting it into practice into your own life. Wow, Cap, this one is so deep. So deep. I love it. This is one of those ones that I don't think I'm ever going to forget because the transformation that you guys have been going through, it's unprecedented. And it's continuous. It's continuously happening. Your readings just blow me away with what you pull. And again, you have the right to believe whatever you want to believe. No one can ever stand in judgment of that, And I worry when it comes to talking about religious beliefs and different faiths. So let me just be clear on. I was born and baptized Catholic, and I went to Catholic school for 3 years. and I did not understand Catholicism for nothing. I didn't get it. Our religious class was, the father would come in and we would sit in groups and he would say, okay, whoever reads this chapter and this verse, the first would get some candy. And we wouldn't even understand what we were reading in the New Testament. We didn't get it because it wasn't really being taught. It was just like, you have to believe this. It's just what it is. Don't ask questions, you know? And as I got older, I opened up more to everything. Everything. I love everything about all the religions on the earth. And there's things that I don't like about them. But I really feel like the message here for you is to be open to the new faiths that you're learning about. There's more going on than meets the eye. Recognize what this is all about. Wow. Cap. I love it. I love this reading. It is so deep. It's on such a deep level. There's so many different aspects to this, but I love what you're doing here. Please, please stay open to all the new faiths that you're learning about. Okay, Cap. This one was so deep for me. This one was just so, I was so deep into this. The transformation that you guys are going through is like unreal. It's unreal. You're changing yourself on a spiritual level. And when you talk about faiths, I really feel like, I mean, between these three, wow. You want to talk about faith? I think that you guys are open to all different things that are coming into you right now. And I think it's fantastic with the Six of Cups being your best path to follow. And with the Sun, I really feel like it's telling you to have that childlike view of the world again and see the magic in life and understand that there is truth in everything. And then you're celebrating it. You're celebrating it and you have support. I love it. The only warning here is, I feel like there may be this fear that you may have to leave some old beliefs behind, or maybe you're learning about something that doesn't fully resonate and that you have to leave some of it behind. Whatever the case is here, the biggest thing here is to make sure that you don't silence the things that you're learning and the things that make you happy. Because again, no matter what you believe, as long as it makes you happy, no one can ever stand in judgment of that. And you're putting it to work in your life. It's wonderful. I love it, and then with the moon too, make sure that you don't lose that connection to the source. Still keep your intuition, that part of you. And with what you pulled in Whispers of Love, when you talk about express love through gifts and the heart of the matter, and then honesty is essential. I really feel like here you're being honest about your new truths. As far as, gifts go, I almost feel like if you're in a relationship or even with just your family and friends, it's like, give them a gift. Give them that gift of knowledge when it comes to the things that you're learning here, And with